Good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. I just took a shit and it was weird and stony, so it hurt my asshole. But if you're wondering, that's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is the actual pain in my ass is a piece of shit that I have recently been dating. I'll put it to you like this. Also, sorry I haven't been recording videos in a while and that my most recent videos I have remembered to upload. It's been a weird week. I had a concussion. And if you're like, how'd you get a concussion? I punched myself 17 times in the head because my Wi-Fi was not working and I was mentally unstable. Imagine my shock when I learned, oh shit, turns out I just have to move from that corner of my room to this corner of my room. And I can record videos now and search the internet. So shout out to the free brain damage I got. And I'll sum up what happened this week some other time when I have the energy. I'm feeling kind of weird for a million different reasons, and it's not just because I made some fucked up coffee with IHOP syrup that tasted like motherfucking Chinese poison that they would use to kill concubines back in the day in the most painful manner possible. But also, I'm just feeling pain because I've met a guy who I thought I really, really liked. We met online, we had a pretty solid first date. Or I don't know if I would even call it a date, but they were just someone online who was like, hey, I'm looking for someone to take on a very nice, lovely date and in which like just for a nice little like 1 day fling so that I could just have a little break from reality. And me, I was looking for the same thing. I was like, that sounds fucking amazing. I would love something like that. I'm that type of person. I'm known to do that. And I also thought to myself, okay, you know what? My streak of working on nothing but like event running and sewing and Chinese concubine documentaries and soap operas, it's like that's fun and all. And I love it. I love that I have unmale centered my life pretty damn well, where all I'm worried about is ambition, growth, and powerful, strong women surviving in different circumstances. And I'm getting a lot better with my social skills and stuff. Life's going good. And I just kind of recently thought, okay, you know what? But I do want this pussy munched. So let me, and also I thought to myself, I don't want it to just be like, I'll put it this way, almost every day of the week, I had been doing nothing but comedy shows, event production, variety shows, all of these events. I was getting tired. I was like, I want to have a reality break. So just like that guy who got me the opal earrings, I was like, you know what? Let's just like, okay, some dude who has a little bit of money wants to spend it on me. And I spat ball ideas about it, like, yeah, we could go to a spa, rejuvenate a bit. We could, I don't know, get a really nice fancy dinner and a movie, check out a show, anything you want to do, we can make it exciting. He was like, oh, okay, that sounds great to me. Let's just say as time has gone on, he did what every motherfucker does. They start to fall in love with me. And I get it. I do. It's one of those things where I'm one of those people where it's like I'm a very set in stone type person who likes set expectations. If you say it's going to be a one night stand, meaningless fling, and then you start showing signs of like, oh, what if we had kids? Oh my God, you're so marriageable. Don't do that. Unless you are prepared to tell me it's a mental game and will end by a set date, that is a dangerous game to be playing. And I said it straight to them because I have trauma. I have trauma from any other time this has gone down. I told him, do not try that shit with me. I don't have any more temperament or mood for love bombing, future faking bullshit. No, stop talking about all you want to do for me in the future. Start talking about what you can do for me now. Don't talk about how one day you want to take me to this restaurant, that thing, that how you want to get me a bouquet full of roses with flowers and fucking $100 bills in it, which is lovely, but it's like, come on now. Don't tell me about how one day you want to take me to this restaurant and do this and take me shopping for this, this, and that because you think I deserve it. That's cool. As of now, what can you do now that you think I'm worthy of and you can actually do now? He had to get set straight. But either way, we were talking for a bit, things were going okay. And he just mentioned he was having trouble at home. So, like, I don't know, I guess I can talk about it. It's not like he has this channel. I can talk as candidly about it as I want. His mother has cancer, and his dad also recently recovered from his cancer, but it still took a lot out of him. So imagine one parent you have survives cancer just for your other parent to get it out of nowhere. That's terrible fucking luck. And they were doing really bad mentally one night. And I remember it was a night where, yeah, I remember I was at a comedy show when I was talking to them, and they just were like, trying to get out the house, but they kept saying that their mother was causing them issues. Mind you, they're 24, like they're only 2 months younger than me. So it's like but they live with their family. And I guess he didn't tell me much at the time. He just told me his mother was a bit clinky and concerned because he has a past that he was going to tell me about, but how she just really is overprotective and didn't want him going out on a weeknight, and especially like out super far away instead of being next to her side in case she starts getting sick or having illness or tremors or something. And so I was like, yeah, that's understandable. And if we don't meet tonight, that's fine. But at some point late in the evening, he was just really going through it. And he was like, I think I really want to meet tonight. Sorry I couldn't make it to your comedy show, but would you like to meet? Excuse me. He said something like, would you like to meet? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm so sorry we didn't get to meet today. Is there any chance I could still see you tonight? Like, were you still going to go to that secondary event? I said, I'm not. Sadly, that's canceled. But if you want, meet me at this specific bar I like, and we can just like talk, have fun, you know? So, me, I also should give this guy a nickname. What's a nickname I can give him? I'll just call him Catholic Guy, because fuck it, he's the most Catholic guy I've ever dated so far. Religious niggas love me, by the way. Oh my god, like this. I don't want to talk about it, but we'll get there eventually. I'll stay on topic for now. This nigga. So we like let's just say it was like I went back home. I went from like ragdoll. I was just wearing like some little fuck ass little beanie, and I'm pretty sure this exact same shirt. And I was like, you know what? I want to get dolled up. So I got dolled up, put on my cute lipstick, put on my headscarf, but made it like classy. Put on some nice like fucking kundan jewelry, dangly gold and ruby jewelry. I looked fucking bomb. I had a cute little swingy black dress, high heels on. I looked amazing. And when they saw me, they were just like so ecstatic because they like, and it's like, okay, just typical, like, I don't know, white dude, blue eyes, blonde hair, Aryan race looking motherfucker. Just one of those types, you know? It's just like, yeah, it's like he looks like whiter than a sheet of paper. But was he cute? Admittedly, yeah, he looked a lot better than his photos. Men don't know how to take photos on dating profiles because his dating profile, it was just like majority forehead and beady little eyes and no lips. But I thought to myself, I've seen worse. I can work with this. Just for in person, it's like, oh yeah, this is a handsome guy. Okay, yeah, sure, let's do this. He was nervous as fuck, and I remember within minutes of us sitting down, like, he mentioned that he doesn't drink and that he's sober. I said, yeah, that's fine. I don't really like to drink either, or at least like, cause it gives me physical body damage and shit. And also, I was fine not drinking. I had been trying to wean off of drinking for a while after a period of drinking, and I know you're like, Tamia, how come you just said you don't like drinking, but then also have admitted that you've been drinking more? The answer is doing too fucking many comedy shows and event productions means sometimes you're gonna, and also if it's free, I get free drinks all the time. Like I'm not gonna turn down a Moscow. If someone pisses me off, I'm not turning down a Moscow Mule. If it's been a long night and someone's having a really rough set, I'm not turning down a fucking White Claw. Or if the opportunity arises for me to have a Mountain Dew or a Red Bull, bet your ass I'm having one because guarantee I did not get enough sleep and I need that energy boost. But that shit fucks with my brain and my kidney and my temperament, so I've been weaning off. But that evening, let's just say, he got some sort of club soda, sparkling water, whatever. Didn't even know that bar had that. And I got a Red Bull. Yeah, because I also thought, I don't want this dude to feel like he has to drink and I don't want to get sloppy or a headache the next morning. We were talking and then he said, yeah, so I don't like drinking at all. I go to bars all the time, but I usually just do it for the sake of friendship. I just stick to water because I have a history of like, really doing stuff like addiction. And I was like, oh, like alcohol? He said, yeah, that and also like hard drugs. I was like, oh, what type of hard drugs? This nigga says heroin, just like so casually, just so like, just like, I wish I could just straight up like heroin. The way you should have seen me go, ow, like so loud. Cause I was like, oh, it's like, oh, okay, and I kind of stuttered a bit, but I was like, nothing's wrong with having a past. I guess I just thought you were gonna say like acid or something. That's what I usually hear when someone says hard drugs. I thought it was gonna be like acid or Molly. It's just he's like, nah, just heroin. It's like, yeah, heroin, okay. But he doesn't do it anymore. But that is some. It's like I don't usually date people who do that hard drugs, but or have. But it's like okay, like not my first time dating some pale fucking ex addict. Whatever shit happens. They were extremely shy that evening, and they were smoking because they were so nervous, and they would not shy to tell me that they thought I was extremely gorgeous to the point where they were actually scared to talk to me because they didn't know what to say and they were freaking out, so they had to keep smoking. It helps that a bunch of my friends, funny enough, in the comedy scene were there just by surprise. They were like, "Holy shit, is that Tam?" And we started talking, and I introduced them to my buddy, and they were all super sweet to him, and it worked out well. It was fun. It was fun. Afterwards, we went and we got like it was sweet because we went out to get some food at this one burger joint, and asked them, and I was like, "Oh, do you want anything to eat at this place?" They were like, "No," and I thought to myself, "Oh God, is this gonna be that thing where it's like I didn't know what to expect. I just thought to myself, okay, fuck it. I'll just go to the tablet machine and start ordering myself some food then. This nigga was sweet because then he just straight up hands me his card from behind and he's like, get anything you want. And it's like, oh, I like that in a man. I like that in a man. I'll admit it. I like that in a man. I got whatever the fuck. It was nice. I got like a big ass fucking chicken sandwich and some like crazy like bacon cheesy crazy fries and a big ass milkshake. I was eating good. I like when a man feeds me. I like the type of man that does not hesitate to go, pretty girls deserve food. Those are the men I like. God bless those men. Let's see. Also, I'm sorry if this story's going a bit slow. It's a slow day for me. Even though I just chugged a bunch of coffee. Also, did I mention my stomach kind of hurts from the fucked up coffee? And the thing I did before starting this video. I'm not going to remind you of what I did. But let's just say, the first meeting was pretty okay. I remember, like, we drove around, talked, like, walked by the waterfront. It was a pleasant evening. It was a nice time. Like, it wasn't anything groundbreaking in my opinion, but it was pleasant. But for him, I guess it meant the fucking world to him, because then he was telling me all about how he felt a crazy, crazy, crazy connection to me as if we had met in a past life and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, oh, really? You feel that way? He was like, yes. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel that way back with somebody. He felt a strong connection my way, and I just was like, oh, this just felt like surface level conversations about theology and like a little bit of talk of religion over like as I'm eating fries and they're just watching me eat fries. I it wasn't any, like I'm just saying. But I'm not saying it was a bad time. I'm just saying it's like okay, it wasn't anything that would be exciting to tell my grandkids about. Hell, imagine you. I feel bad even just spending the last 5 minutes telling you about this shit. But other things happened with him. I don't know. It was one of those things where like it'll come to me eventually. But he said subtle shit on the date that just kind of pointed in the direction of like something was up with him. Like, I don't know, we talked about theology and the history of the Bible's creation, and let's just say it got very, 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 very religious. And I have to say, the funny thing about men who date me is that it's like always the men who are online looking for one night stands and hookups end up hiding the fact that they're extremely, extremely, extremely religious. And it's like, this nigga did not tell me he was the type of nigga to go to church like almost every fucking day of the week. I do witchcraft. Like, I do not subscribe or witchcraft. I practice spirituality. I like tarot cards. I like candles. I like mystery soaps and oils. I like thick, luscious, bad bitches who do lesbian shit in the forest. I'm just saying, it's like I don't. But men like them love women like me. Mm, always some shit. Like, what's the fucking whatever. Moving on. So time passes. We talk a little bit more, and then which night was it? Oh, it was Monday. I remember I was having a rough day on Monday, and so were they. And we eventually just, like, I remember they were getting back from a really, really, really long trip. And they also pissed me off over the weekend because they kept doing that shit again. They were talking, like, I said, like, I would like you to plan a nice date for us soon. Like, ideally, something that we could do this Monday because it's my day off. This nigga proceeded to do that thing again where he started future faking and talking all these huge fucking ideas, but I'd have to wait months down the line because he's currently unemployed. I was pissed as fuck. Because it's like, nigga, you didn't tell me you were unemployed. And two, maybe don't fucking fantasize about giving me bouquets filled with $100 bills and taking me shopping for jewelry and this, and that when you don't even, like, and then he confessed, he was like, I'm sorry, I would take you on a date, but I'm so tired from driving down to LA and I tried to make money out here, but didn't spend most of it on my friends or on like hotels and food, and now I'm broker than I was when I first got down here. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, whatever, not my issue. But since I still liked the guy, I was like, hey, listen, I have some free IHOP like coupons I need to use anyway. And frankly, I don't have a car, and I'm having a rough day. It would mean the world to me if you could come see me for a bit, just as a friend. Like, and he was like, bet, like I can do that. Let's just say I got so glamorous looking. Like I had, well, see, I'm so sad about my phone being broken because I think it was the most mesmerizing I've looked in a long time. Now I look great already, but I'm just saying, imagine me with a huge, luscious Pam Grier afro, like huge, like almost touching my shoulders, opal and diamond earrings, oiled up skin, rosy lips, rosy cheeks, like skin clearer than a motherfucker, just fucking dewy and glistening, titties sitting up nice, and a motherfucking nice, like, whoop, like brown, fucking gorgeous little cider dress that makes the titties go bow and the hips go boom bow with the Angelina Jolie leg slit and some high heels. I looked incredible. But I'll tell you this, I made him wait a little bit too long. Like, I already, he's got anxiety and shit. If I could say something like, hey, just so you know, I have a habit of being late, so you might want to turn off your car when you park, because I am probably going to take a lot longer than I think I will by the time you arrive to my area. This nigga didn't listen, and then he just, like, for almost like a full hour, was just driving around the neighborhood panicking and shit. And let's just say when he saw me, I stepped out nervous but looking radiant, and he looked average as fuck. And this nigga was glaring at me. And I thought to myself, alright, he's glaring at me. He's not looking at me like I'm the most beautiful woman ever. This is awkward. We went to IHOP. He was quiet and he wasn't looking at me much. And when I could get him to talk, I like if it was sometimes it would be religious babble. Other time, but I don't know. He said a few things that were just interesting. But he's the type of guy where he'll tell you something huge about himself and then just not elaborate. And at some point, he's just was like, "Yeah, I used to be a transvestite," and I was like, "What?" Like, oh, like Lily, like as we were pulling into IHOP, he just says that, no context whatsoever. Just like, yeah, I used to be a transvestite. And I was like, oh, like, and I didn't fully know what that word meant despite being trans and shit myself. I just was like, elaborate. And he said, oh, I used to dress in women's clothing and call myself a woman. It's like, oh, I sure, I've dated niggas like that before. But then it was one of those things where then he said he's done it for 10 years. And it's like, oh, that's like a, and then he didn't elaborate further. And he just, the conversation just kind of halted. And it was just like, okay, it's like you always think you know a person, and then next thing you know, they're gonna whip out some shit like, hey, just so you know, I used to be a woman for the past 10 years. Anyway, let's get you pancakes and on me. And it's like, and he also told me to save the fucking coupons and that he would just cover dinner for me. In hindsight, we could have went anywhere else but IHOP if he was gonna just pay for dinner anyway. But in that moment, I did just really want some fucking IHOP, and I enjoyed the fuck out of my like burnt yet also simultaneously undercooked ass breakfast sampler at IHOP. I was the happiest little chickadee ever. Uh, anything? How do I summarize this part? I want to make it quick, also because I have to piss. He has really bad anxiety, and it got to the point where it's like even telling him like, "Hey, actually my hash browns were burned. Do you mind like asking the waitress if she could get us some new ones?" Like, let's just say, and I said, "Oh, take the plate and show her, by the way, so that she doesn't charge you for any more hash browns." Because I wish you could see the way it was like gushy and wet on the inside and then just totally burnt like it was a fucking hamburger smash burger patty. It didn't look like a hash brown at all. It looked like a fucking abomination. This nigga proceeded, like, he took it, but he was, like, shaking like he had tremors as he tried to talk to the cute Latina woman who was terrible at her job. And you could tell he was struggling, so I made sure I thanked him profusely. And he did that thing where he was like, oh, don't thank me, I didn't do anything. And it's like, nigga, you were shaking as if you were going to fucking war, like you were about to die. Like, I'm gonna thank you. I'm just gonna thank you. What do I even say next about this man? Oh, this was an interesting moment at dinner. Like, it was just kind of hard to talk to him because he was just like, imagine you're on dinner with someone and you're looking radiant and beautiful, and then the person you're on a date with just keeps staring at anything else but you, like this. like that, and then it's just sort of short with you with most conversation. I didn't know how to feel. I was like, like I just thought, okay, he's really mad at me for being late, and he's really not attracted to me and all that. But then let's just say at some point over dinner, it was the most surreal thing because one, a kid in the background started puking up its fucking weight and fucking vomit. I guess it ate its fucking food too fast. But it was a kid who was like, it was like a huge, disgusting, like 7-tier waterfall of eggs and pancakes and hash brown vomit spilling out of this like very, very tiny kid. Like he was barely more than the size of a fucking Mountain Dew bottle. It was concerning. And then as that was happening in the background in this almost entirely empty IHOP, this nigga looks at his phone and then just starts shaking hard as fuck. And then he's just like, nothing. I just got some news. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, sorry. And then as he's kind of freaking the fuck out, the kid in the back is vomiting as if he's the fucking exorcist. And then this nigga's twitching and shit as if he just got the most horrible fucking news and omen of his life. And he's shaking so hard that the whole table is vibrating. And he can't make eye contact and he keeps twitching and stammering and shit. Nothing's wrong with that. I was hitting my limit though. I was getting overstimulated. I know myself well. I just kind of closed my eyes as I talked because I know that in situations like this, the best thing you can be is a calm person. If someone else is angry or sad or anything else, the best thing you can do is be a calm, grounded person who acts like everything is fine. Because do not let the room control you, you control the room. And then I just simply calmly just talked to him with my eyes closed. And I just asked him questions, and then he started to like calm down and he started to cheer up and get more happy. But I did ask him at least like 3 to 4 times. I was like, "What's the bad news you got?" And he kept refusing to tell me to the point where it was just making me really pissed. Because I thought, okay, I got all dressed up and excited to see this dude all fucking weekend, all fucking day. And now he's like, what? Let's just say shit went on. And like, he said something that was like it was like a joke that came off bad. I think this guy has autism. There's multiple signs that point to it, honestly. But I will say it like this: it was very interesting. He said something that could be taken as snarky, but I guess he meant it as playful. But his he's very bad with social cues and he didn't know how he sounded. So that just kind of triggered me to just, like, at the end of our date outside of the IHOP, I was just like, "Can you just take me home, please?" In, like, the saddest little voice ever. And he was like, "Oh, shit. Okay. Uh, I'm sorry if I upset you. I'm sorry if I said something wrong. Was my joke not funny? Did I do something wrong? Did I fuck up? How did I fuck up?" And he got really scared because he was like, "Ah, shit, I just pissed off this girl." As I'm sitting there in the passenger seat, I eventually just kind of start crying, and I'm just like, I just got really dressed up today, and I don't like, I know I came late, but it's like, I'm sorry, I did, I don't, and I think you think I'm busted. You probably don't even think I'm attractive today, and I don't think you like how I look. And then, like, as I'm saying this, he gets the most deer in headlights, like, most concerned look ever. And then I told him how I was asking him questions and not getting answers. And I forget how he responds first, but I think the first thing he said was, "The news I got was that my mother's cancer increased. The tumor got bigger." And that made me go, "Oh shit, like fuck how I'm feeling. God damn, I'm so sorry." But then he also confirmed with me immediately. He said, "But more important, well, like, he didn't say more, but he did make it clear. It's like immediately he was like, also, no, I think you're incredibly fucking attractive and you're so scarily beautiful that I just didn't know what to do and I didn't want to stare at you too long and make you uncomfortable. I was secretly mesmerized with you all evening. I just didn't know how much looking at you was going to be inappropriate and didn't want to make you feel bad, but you are truly gorgeous." And he ranted on and on about how beautiful I was, and the rest of the evening was sweet. He even made sure to clarify multiple times that, like, at random, even if the conversation topic was something else, he would say some shit like, "Damn, girl, I've had women that I wanted to marry that weren't as gorgeous as you. Fuck!" And what else happened with him? Oh yeah, and he also clarified that, like, because he is autism coded heavily, he did explain that I might have to get more specific with my questions because he doesn't know quite how to elaborate or how much depth to go into, and he will truly answer any question that I have. And I said, okay, I want to know a lot more. I want to know about, like, why your mom was yelling at you, the detransitioning, your religious beliefs, you being gay in the past tense, much, much more. And we were talking. Excuse me, pardon me. Is there much to say else? Damn, I really gotta pee. I'll put it this way. Let's speed this along. The rest of the night was simple. You know, we drove like the evening took a lot of interesting turns. Like at some point it was just me with my legs in his lap as he drove around, like stroking my feet and touching how soft my legs were, as he just told me how beautiful he thought I was, as he told me that he likes me so much that he wants to do embarrassing, disgusting, and even disturbing things for me just to make me happy. He said that he would suck a dick in my honor if it meant a chance to even get close to me again. He said that there's hardly anything he would ever say no to in regards to me, and that he wants to give me anything he possibly can give me, and that I'm his reason to keep going. That I'm his reason to keep, like, trucking on and having hope, and that he wants to wait until he gets steady employment and wait to have sex because he truly does want to give me as much as possible and not rush things because he thinks I deserve all the best treatment, which is very sweet, very sweet. And a lot more stuff. But let's just say, I don't know, it was a wholesome evening. One second we were just driving around talking about our sexual kinks and trying to see if we could find where the fucking Latina prostitutes were in East Oakland, because we both like Latinas and we both like sex workers. But he never has had a sex worker and I haven't either. But it was just like, hey, we could just take a look. I was like, I know a block where there's like 25 of them on one street just hanging out there like a fucking swarm of swans. And so we drove around town, and then next thing you know, we ended up in this other city, and we just started looking at all the fucking cute little Halloween holiday lights just like boot up in the car, hella cute. It was really adorable. It was a very wholesome time. And in that moment, I think we both felt a connection because after the evening was over, he was texting me all about how it felt nice that throughout all the chaos of his life, with the complex shit with his mother and with his motherfucking, all he's been going through and how hard it's been to like try to overcome addiction after like several years off of it and much, much more. It's just, I get it. Like, they made it clear that it's like they were glad to finally have something that feels normal and real, and that two people were just like cared about. And that time I agreed. It did feel like, oh, okay, this is a connection as if we had been dating for a long time, and as if we knew each other for quite a long time, and as if something special happened. It was a pleasant time. He also felt really fucking bad. He would not stop telling me about how bad he felt that he took me to IHOP. Also, I forgot to mention, if you're wondering, the lady at IHOP was so fucking stupid. Let's just say if we tell you that you fucked up the hash browns, and then you say, okay, so do you want one order or two? And then we say one, and then you bring us two hash browns, and then charge us for all the hash browns. Let's just say I had to. My date is working on his self-esteem and his confidence, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, he paid for like fucking four different hash browns. And instead of trying to talk to the lady again, he just was like, I guess you're eating good tonight, and I got to take home a shit ton of hash browns with my strawberry shortcake pancakes, so hey, works for me. Interesting times had. Anything else I want to say? I'm thinking. Oh, um, yeah, next thing you know, we were looking at holiday lights. Things did get sexual at some point. Like, I don't even fully remember how, but it makes sense. It's like we were very flirty in the car. Things got a little steamy. Uh, let's just say they haven't had sex in a year or so. And also, they confessed, like, a year ago is also when they started transitioning back into being a man. So they haven't been with a woman in an incredibly long time, number one. And number two, definitely not in their current physical form. Like, if you haven't been a dude since you were, like, 10, then it makes sense that you're not going to know how to behave as like a 24, 25-year-old man around a cute girl. And he also confessed that he felt bad. Like, he's told me this several times, even before our second date. He just told me, like, I feel so fucking bad because I feel like I'm so fat, ugly, unattractive. Like I just look fucking terrible. I don't get why someone like you would want to be with somebody like me, and I feel like I need to give you the world because otherwise I don't get why you would tolerate my presence. I said, because I genuinely like you. I think you're sweet, funny, wholesome. I enjoy getting to know you. Are you an anxious fucking fuck? Absolutely. Do you have some mental issues? Absolutely. Are you stupid as fuck sometimes? Absolutely. I'm an honest person. I actually did say most of these things. Like, you know, I'm not a saint either, but he likes honesty and I'm an honest person. We did have a few fights, but whatever. Well, verbal spats is a better way of saying it. Let's just say I made it clear to him. I was like, I like you. I think you have a delicious, sexy jawline, beautiful, crystal clear eyes, and I think you're very cool. Also, they didn't tell me that they like transitioned into a woman at some point before the second date. I did remember they sent me a photo of themselves and they had boobs in the photo, but I just thought, okay, this is someone who just lost weight, or hey, sometimes I just meet dudes who have puffy chests. It's okay. But I don't know. I'll put it this way. Once they did kind of unveil the I used to be trans and I'm de-transitioning and I'm turning back into a guy thing, it kind of made sense for some of their self-esteem issues because for a lot of reasons. Also, I will admit in the car they did say something along the lines of how, religion is what helped them stay on track to sobriety. And then they kind of said something, and I quote, along the lines of, and Catholicism is very clear on what it does and does not accept, so it's not like I could. And then they trailed off and they didn't elaborate further, and it seemed like they wanted to stop talking about it. So I get the feeling that they detransitioned, like, sorry. I apologize that I'm saying this is non-linear. Let's move forward. I guess here, let's skip to I'll at least tell you how the second date ends before I say the rest. So the way the second date ended is that me and him, like we parked somewhere near my area. And I guess I was just like, you know, they talked about how soft my skin was and how gorgeous I looked and everything. Now, did I want to kiss them? No, because admittedly, their lips are way too thin for what I like. I don't like men with thin lips, but I'm sorry, I don't. I like when men have lips. And his were, I think, the thinnest I have dealt with in a long time. I'm not saying you can't have sexy makeout sessions. I just, I also, honestly, I'm one of those people where it's like, you can sooner suck my titty before kiss me. Like, I'm sorry, I have to really be into you to want to kiss you. Like, I'm just saying. Because not everyone's mouth bacteria is good. On a titty? Okay. On my own mouth? Because I gotta taste it, you know? Anyone can suck a tit, mostly. Oh, but as I was saying, like, we pulled over, and then I guess I was feeling kind of freaky, and I thought to myself, I don't want to let this, like, I'll put it this way, I looked bomb as fuck. Ethereal. Amazing. And I had my fucking 36 double D's and my nice little dress, and I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I used the fucking Korean Italy towel, another scrub on top of that. I got like three different like lotions, oils, like shea butters on my body right now. This is the softest my skin has ever been. I want him to feel it. Plus, I was in that fun stage of like mid-period, close to ovulation, where my titties were like swelling up bare for some reason. So I just asked, I was like, what would you like to see? And I undid my strap to my dress, and he was like, oh, uh, yeah, 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 I would. And then he was kind of nervous though, and then I show it out, and the way this man yells, "Holy shit! Holy mother of fuck!" at the top of his lungs, seeing my big ass titty just like he was ecstatic. Did anything? Not much happened after that. Let's just say I wish you could have seen the adorable way that he just was like ah, and then I just like was like, you can touch it, it's okay. Would you like to touch it? And I put his hand there, and he held it, and he was just like. And then he just like slowly uses his other hand to take his hand off, puts back up my sweater dress, and then politely pats my titty, all while shaking. That was extremely fucking cute. I was like, okay. We almost went farther than that, but let's just say a very fun experience driving around an area to find a nice little dark place to park your car. And then here comes this dude, like, he was about to start kissing my neck and stuff and trying to do stuff again, but you see he kind of panics in his eyes and he just holds me in a hug. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess he likes physical intimacy, he likes hugs. Even earlier in the evening, he asked me to like put my face against his like this and just like look at him, which is cute. It's like he's a cute fella. He likes physical intimacy. Nothing's wrong with that. But the way this man pulls away from the hug and just looks at me, and he's like, "Do you mind if I take you on a much nicer date before we do something like this?" Like, you're just such a nice girl. You're a really nice girl. You're just really nice. You're such a good girl. I don't, you deserve better than this. And he just made it clear that it's like I'm not like you can tell he has some sort of moral code where it's like I can't just titty fuck a girl in a dark alleyway on some random fucking Monday night. Like, and I took her to IHOP. It's like, and it wasn't even good IHOP. It was shitty burnt hash browns and undercooked meats and overcooked. Like, he felt bad. So yeah, nothing else has happened since then, and we still haven't kissed. But let's just say, God, now we gotta get to the climax of this story. Alright, I'm back. Let's just say, so we had talked these last few days, highs and lows in our conversation, but he said little stuff that was just kind of weird. Like, I don't know. And it all started tying together. Like, let's just say, imagine you have a date with somebody. Like, and then, like, the next day or so, like, out of nowhere in a random conversation, he just says something like, well, no offense, sweetheart, but I don't really want to talk politics and theology with you. And it's like, nigga, we were not talking about politics and theology. We were talking about concubines and fabric and what I had for lunch today. And you kind of just randomly, like, brought that shit up. I don't know. I don't even, like, it was like the smallest reference made him start that big ass conversation. And it got weird. And he just started getting more religious as conversations went on to a point that was just kind of like uncanny. I don't know how to explain it. Also, my memory's fucking with me today. It's been an odd day, so I hope you bear with me. I didn't sleep much last night because of what happened next. So, we decided to make each other some playlists. Because I guess we had an argument the other day, and I forget what it was even about, but we got mad at each other. Oh, I remember. This nigga kept talking about, like, ooh, like, I like you so much, I want to have a future with you, but not date you. No, no, don't get me wrong, not date you. I adore you, and you would make an amazing wife and be perfect, but I wouldn't marry you. And he kept doing that. It's like, nigga, I didn't ask. And I had to be like, nigga, I don't even want to date you. Have you seen yourself? Have you seen how you act? Fuck you. And then conversation got heated, and then we started arguing for an hour over text. But then eventually, somehow things subsided. He apologized and he admitted that he had a crush on me and he didn't know how to navigate his feelings. And he had previously told me that the way he wanted our thing to work is that he wanted to have as much fun with me as possible, but that he had some life at home that he wanted to maintain and couldn't afford and, didn't want disrupted. I didn't know what that meant. I just thought to myself, fingers crossed, he doesn't have a girlfriend, but all signs were pointing to that he genuinely was single. Let's just say I learned the hard way what he meant. So we made each other playlists, right? I made him a playlist of songs with a bunch of like romantic, sweet, fun, exciting songs. And this nigga made me a playlist where the second song was like some sort of extremely religious Nat King Cole holiday song. And then he kept adding more like religious songs, like even Kanye West Donda songs. I remember at some point, before I even looked at he looked at my playlist first, and he was like, "Oh shit, you added Kanye West. Oh, you added that song with Twista. Haha, I was gonna add that song to your playlist, but I didn't, because I didn't want you saying that I hate the Jews or something." And then I thought to myself, that was a very weird 4chan green text ass thing to say. If you saw the way he spelled out DAJOOZ in mocking terms, as in the Jews, it's like, no, it's like, that was like a little, and little other things he said that were just kind of like giving off little dog whistles about like what his politics were. And eventually I just kind of thought to myself, all right, well, do I want to click on his username to the playlist websites that he made me and learn more about him? Like, hell, he's going to be going to bed soon, and I could do a little online stalking to see what he means by he has a life that because you know, when he first told me that, I just assumed it's like, okay, he wants it to be a brief fling. Maybe his family is also super religious. Maybe it's one of those super white, awkward, like religious communities or whatever. Like, there's a million reasons, but also his mom has cancer and is dying. So I thought to myself, yeah, it's like and if his mom is the type of person to throw fits if he leaves his fucking house because she assumes he's doing drugs or getting into trouble like he used to, like, I don't know, and she doesn't want him around women anyway, despite how it's been several years of his sobriety, because I guess she's nervous about it. So I guess I don't know how to phrase it. I just kind of figured, okay, yeah, your mom's dying of cancer. It's probably not the best time to be like, hey, I'm gonna introduce you to my new girlfriend who's black and a pagan and all that shit. Like, even if I did want to wear my fucking crosses that I do have cross necklaces. Mainly for the aesthetic. I like the jewelry. Like, it is a tea after all, so, you know. But let's just say, yeah, you don't want to fucking, if your mom doesn't want you around, like, is kind of like a boy mom, dying of cancer, clingy to her baby, doesn't want him getting wrapped up in any more drama in the form of drugs or women. Now, I see why you wouldn't want to involve me in that situation. But sorry that we had to hit the 40-minute mark to find out what happened next. I looked up his username. I clicked on his username to his profile. This nigga's wearing a Make America Healthy hat. Huh. And I thought, is that satirical or is he like one of those RFK Jr. supporters? Let's just say last night I was up until 3 a.m. finding out just how deep it goes. Turns out he is a detransitioner who has a pretty large online following where he basically is Republican grifting and going to legislations trying to basically say like, no, we need to repeal the rights of trans children and adults, fuck the LGBT, like all this terrible, terrible shit. And then I looked even more, it's like, oh, you have a Twitter account where you call people negresses and the blacks, and you say something about Turkish people fucking their dogs and eating them. And I thought to myself, is this, I know that Twitter pays people to make rage tweets. And I know that Republican grifting gives a lot of money. I even saw that they once got $100 on their GoFundMe from some woman simply for like a documentary they made about detransitioning. And then I know their real life situation. I know that they have basically zero money and they're getting like financially abused by their mother. And their mother is just the type of person to always be screaming at them, and their mother actually recently was like, you need to stay in the fucking house when I tell you to stay in the house, and it doesn't matter if we're screaming all day, you will stay here, do not try to go anywhere else. And the mother was the type, like, okay, I'm gonna try to break this down in the best way I can. Imagine you're like someone who's like trans and you weren't accepted by your family, probably estranged from them for a very long time, and you just got out of a relationship with a 40-year-old woman who was abusive to you, hit you, all that shit, and then abandoned you, and now you have an extremely expensive place in Sebastopol where rent is like $2,000 a month, and you no longer have someone living with you that covers that bill. And it's like you're a vulnerable trans woman who's also trying to be sober and struggling with your sobriety because you were in an abusive relationship and have a fucked up life because people mistreat you because you're trans in a very non-accepting area, and you can't properly get a job anymore. Whether like that part they haven't told me much about, but I do, let's just say the timelines of like when they detransitioned, when they got off drugs, when they got sober, and when they had to move into their parents because they had no other financial option, and when their mother's abuse started ramping up, they all within the same fucking like time period of like a month or two, like within that, like all at once basically. And it seems a lot of the stuff that they post points to brainwashing. I don't know. It's weird because in person they were telling me at bars and shit, they were like, yeah, I have tons of like friends that are people of color in real life. Yeah, this, yeah, that. And they were talking about how they were obsessed with the Black Panther Party and really loved seeing like actual paintings and pictures in Oakland about the Black Panther Party and like real learning like real historical areas dedicated to it and all the art and the beauty of Oakland just to get online and post some shit talking about like, ooh, Oakland is plagued by communism and anti-white propaganda, and you know what? All our problems can be rooted back to Martin Luther King, and we should repeal the civil rights movement. And it's like, okay, that some tweets just read as like rage baiting for the sake of trying to get fucking money. Because if more people interact to your rage baits as a blue check, then you might get like a little bit of lunch money or something. And to an extent, it's like, okay, this might be someone who's just doing all this because they have no other financial option and because they were brainwashed by their religion. Because deep down, I know that in our conversations we've had, I'll put it this way, it's complex. It's not, but it is. Like, the simple thing is just I'm gonna obviously have to stop talking to them, obviously. Or at the very least distance, depending on the circumstances. But a part of me gets the feeling that this is just someone who had to detransition for their own safety and survival and is being forced into it because it's like they're being forced to do all these documentaries and all these little TV show visits by their mother and their father. But then in private, they're at home, haven't eaten shit all day, have to listen to their fucking abusive mother screaming, cannot leave the house without the mother's consent, even a little bit to get some fresh air. And it's like, I, I have mixed opinions. I don't know. There's not much I can really say other than, wow, imagine you think you met someone cool date, and then you find out it's like, oh, so you're going to different states on like travel buses with your fucked up bigot, racist fucking family trying to say that there's an anti-white movement and that they're trying to exterminate the whites and that trans people aren't people and that the gays are gonna kill us all and alluding to them being pedophiles in these interviews and all this shit. But deep down, I don't know. I don't know how to say it other than they've told me some stuff. They did tell me that they were sexually abused as a kid. And that is something that I want to know more about. If they can tell me, that would be interesting to know. Because I do wonder, I don't know the full story of what happened, but I do know that they do allude that some grooming happened to make them trans. But some of the shit just sounds like stereotypical, like I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. All I know is I couldn't sleep at all last night because imagine you met a guy where you were fantasizing about, like, you were making him a romantic playlist for like an hour with the biggest smile on your face, listening to music that reminded you of the idealized version of him you had in your head. About, like, oh, when they get a chance, we can go out to this restaurant and this date and have this fun event and this, and that. And then you find out that they secretly think black people are like vermin, like the 13% population that does 99% of crime, that fake ass statistic. And that, and I don't know. Also, I'm gonna say this is a little problematic, but fuck it. Like, there are a lot more problematic than I am. Because this nigga on his page, this was the worst thing ever. Was when I found clips on their, like, they said a lot of terrible shit on their page. A lot of terrible shit, like comparing black and brown people to parasites and roaches and terrible, disgusting, vile things. Like, that I wanted to physically choke this nigga out for. He's so lucky he lives far. God fuck him. But, like God fuck him in the, like, just, I hate this dude. I hate this dude so much. To an extent, he's disgusting. Hate his actions. It's fucking sick. I'll say this. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry. I got distracted in my anger. Oh, he has videos of him attending, like, apparently he is associated with Turning Point USA, the same people, and like encouraged online people trying to dox like Charlie Kirk, like haters, and a full video of him attending a Turning Point USA rally in a suit, full on cheering, and when Donald Trump hits the stage and starts fucking emoting and hitting dance moves and shit. It's like, oh, you're far gone. You're very far gone. I don't think there's any saving I can ever do to you. And then to continue that, like, funny enough, on their page they post photos of when they were trans. And in any documentary or photo where they show pictures of when they were trans, it'll be so funny because they'll be like, look at this. This is a photo of me before I got saved by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and by Catholicism and the Pope. Look at how ugly I was. Look, wasn't I just like a sick little vermin? And then their photos literally look like the most gorgeous woman ever, like fucking Birth of Venus type shit, like Aphrodite in human form. Like in their photos, it's just them with thick, luscious thighs, beautiful round titties, perfect face card, luscious, long, flowy golden hair, hitting like with a light in their eyes, hitting a peace sign, and then them in real life with their fucked up yee ass haircut and receding ass hairline. No offense. Well, their forehead's fucking huge, and their fucked up little plantation owner looking ass mustache, and their weak ass, like ill fitting suits that would make the men's workwear guy fucking throw a fit, literally and figuratively. Well, like it's like nigga, you have no soul. Like even that one time where we had the date where I got close to their face and looked at them like this, like from like maybe less than an inch away. That was cute. I liked that moment. I did kind of think to myself, this person has beautiful eyes, but they do not look happy and they have no real soul in them. Like they just looked empty. It was like looking at a glass of murky water, not exactly like a human being's eyes. And I know that's so sad to say, but that's how I feel. And I guess it's kind of reaffirming that it's like, okay, maybe I wasn't crazy. Like I thought I was just a bigot towards people with extremely light blue eyes. His eyes are very scary. Like he's one of those scary looking blue-eyed people, I just gotta say. Uh, I don't know. Nothing's wrong with having blue eyes. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying, like, you ever meet someone and it's like, I'll put it this way: pale as a sheet of paper, and then just like the eyes are so like they're almost white from how light blue they are. It's like that. It's a scary color, I gotta admit. But whatever. And then in the actual photos where they were a woman, it's like they're the most gorgeous woman alive, and they actually look like they have a soul and some happiness to them. I don't know. And a part of me wants to be like, okay, well, maybe transitioning didn't make you do drugs and hate your life. Maybe it's because you have bigot fucking parents who are financially controlling you, like estranged you, fucking terrible, shitty people. And then also because you used drugs to try to escape the fact that you had a traumatic childhood and shitty fucking parents. Maybe that's why. Maybe it wasn't like, maybe trans people aren't the issue. And I'm just annoyed that they're choosing this path. It's like the issue is not trans people, the issue is your fucking parents. At least from what I see. I'm willing to, I don't know, a part of me wants to learn more, but another part of me is just like, do I really want to keep stressing about this dude who is obviously some sort of Trump supporter, brainwashed loser asshole, who is against everything that I stand for. Also, they're pro-Israel, which is fucking disgusting. And let's just say it's like, I'd rather not. It's like, I could just, like, if it weren't for my phone breaking, I would be on Hinge right now. But on the bright side, some random dude online is trying to might take me to a concert tomorrow, so that could be fun. But yeah, let's just say it's like, do I really want to invest more time and energy into someone who's going to suck mine away from me and use whatever energy he sucks out of me to reinvest into hate groups? Or would I rather just find someone who has hobbies, has a life, has money, and can treat me well now, and I don't have to wait 5 months in the future for a bigot asshole to eventually buy me some roses? I could just get another nigga to buy me roses, and they can also like trans people and black people and not call them the blacks. Bye. Peace out. Love you. Peace out.